Hey there, friends. One of the things that I often struggle with in life, and I legitimately mean this, is trying to understand how the wackos on the far left think. I honestly try to put myself in their shoes often and figure out, okay, let me see if I can understand their reason and logic and think like they do. I fail miserably at that every time. But first, go check out my friends CMMG at cmmg.com. These guys are truly an American company and a strong Second Amendment supporting company. You'll find their brand new Descent firearm in several different models, now available for a very limited time in the Putina finish that you see right here. This is my own personal Descent from CMMG. You can get this between now and July 7th in this particular finish, and then it will not be available any longer. The cool thing is you can also use my discount code FTATF, again FTATF, to get a discount on this firearm and all accessories at cmmg.com. This guy right here, Rhode Island Senator Josh Miller, is a prototypical far left leaning wacko anti-gun nut job. That's about as accurately as I can put it. This guy pulled up in a parking lot next to a vehicle that had a Biden sucks sticker on the back of it. First of all, how can you argue with the sticker at this point in time? I understand if you voted for the guy and you wanted him to win, but really hard to go out on a limb and actually disagree with the sticker right now, but that's another topic. This clown gets out of his vehicle, takes his key out, keys the car, and the son of the owner of the car is actually walking up to the vehicle about that time and hears the guy keying the car and sees him with the key, the single key in his hand, asks him if he keyed the car. The guy denied it. The state senator denied it and ran off into the store like a little coward. I noticed in this video, there's three kinds of police officers that we encounter in this whole video series. This first officer that you see probably is a gun nut, probably is a low-ranking guy not seeking a promotion and looking to do, in his eyes, the actual right thing. Probably is a fan of the gun community. Clearly, he does not agree with this senator and is not falling for it, and certainly not falling for the name dropping. Now, you're also going to see in some of the other clips, and I'll point that out later, that one of the guys is probably a little bit more of a bootlicker that's looking for a promotion. And he seems to be really agreeing with this state senator who's clearly lying. There's proof that he's lying. They prove that he's lying. He's clearly lying, and this cop is kind of going along with him. And then later on, we're going to see a third law enforcement officer who seems like a bit of a fence rider. Doesn't want to start any trouble, but doesn't believe the guy either. So I wanted to point that out real quick.
All right, listen. I have to detain you for right now. All right, I'm investigating a crime, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If it's a maniac who yelled at me in the car next to me?
They weren't in the car next to you. There was no one in the car.
Yeah.
There was no one in the car.
He was blocking my way, saying I scratched his car. I didn't scratch his car. I'm a state senator. I think he recognized me. I think he's one of the gun nuts. He called out my name. I never told him my name.
All right. So, he didn't say any of that, okay?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
definitely didn't recognize you. I know he didn't say that.
Yeah.
So, all right. His car was keyed. It was freshly keyed.
Yeah.
All right. And that's what we're investigating right now.
Okay.
And seeing, he pretty much heard it and saw you.
Yeah.
And you had keys in your hand as well.
That's because I just came out of my car.
Well, that would make sense,
Yeah.
but the way that he explained it
Yeah.
seemed much,
Yeah.
a little bit more in depth than that, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
He can hear it, like fresh.
Yeah.
He can hear the scratching, and he approached you and asked you. You kind of
Yeah,
just
and I
walked
said
away and
no,
kind of just
because
blew
he
him
called
off.
out my name.
Yeah, he didn't say he called out your name, but...
Called out my name, and I was worried that he was one of the gun nuts who stalked me at the State House, so I kept walking.
Well, yeah, I don't think he was that. He seemed a little young. You know what I mean?
I love the way this officer that's interrogating him right here is like, I don't think he was that. This was the young son of the owner of the vehicle that he's talking about, being a potential gun nut, threatening him. And you'll see later on in the video, he actually says that he felt threatened by this guy, and then later on says that he did threaten him. Clearly this guy is a habitual liar, and he's lied at least 7 times up to this point to law enforcement. And I would like to remind you that I think they call that obstruction when you do that, at least whenever we do that. Next video here is of a guy that is also interrogating him, a law enforcement officer, that appears to possibly be up for a promotion because he doesn't seem to be really trying to get to the truth, and he seems awfully eager to pacify this senator and not to press him on anything to catch him in any kind of a potential lie.
So Colonel Winquist knows that I was stalked by these guys.
Okay.
Because I'm the sponsor of assault weapons legislation.
Okay.
They actually patrolled my house.
Do you recognize this gentleman? That
I thought he called my name. Right?
Okay.
There's the stickers on the back of my car. I thought he said, "Hey Miller, you can key my car." Because I was concerned he was one of these guys.
Yep.
Right? That stalked me. I kept walking.
Okay. No, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem with what you did like after that also.
Yeah.
Just so we can, again, do our due diligence.
Because some of these guys are armed, so
Oh, yeah.
I was really concerned.
I trust me. I completely understand your concerns. So.
Winquist knows that I have this reaction, right? Because it's happened to me a couple of times.
Okay. That's fine. Yep. So we're not taking any action right now. We're
But
we have our.
Let him know that
Yes,
it was
we will.
me, and
Absolutely.
that was my reaction.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let him know it was me, and that was my reaction. He's talking about this Colonel Winquist right here, which is name dropping because he is a state senator, which he's already proclaimed that as well. So he's trying to let these guys know, hey, I know your boss, so they'll let him off. That's what he's trying to do right here. The problem is that he never did report any of this stuff. In a statement that the law enforcement agency released, they go out and actually state that no reports of any, quote, stalkers were ever made to Winquist or the department at all. So this guy is blatantly lying at this point. He's just making stuff up as he goes, and he's hoping that the name dropping and the fact that he is a senator, a state senator of Rhode Island, that somehow that alone will get him off, meaning that he wants them to scrub the fact that he vandalized somebody else's vehicle who he had no prior beef with, just hated the sticker on the window. He's wanting these guys to cover all of that up just because of who he is. Now, this next video is after these guys looked at the security footage and they saw this senator walking between the vehicles and had a key in his hand, just like everything stated. In other words, he had driven up, he got out, he keyed the car, and got busted keying the car by the young man who was walking up at that time and saw the keying of it. And as this state senator was walking away, he said, hey, dude, did you key our car? That's important to understand because this man is going to lie in this particular video coming up and state that the moment he got out of his car, that this guy was standing in his face yelling and threatening him.
Hi.
Senator, how are you?
Good.
Good. You got a minute?
Yeah.
We came to talk to you about an incident tonight that occurred in Garden City.
Yeah.
So we have a complainant who wants to pursue charges against you.
Okay.
So we've got to do our due diligence. You know they spoke with you earlier tonight.
Yeah.
We did go back to Garden City. We've got the video of you walking through Garden City, putting your coat over your shoulder, going to Whole Foods, buying your lettuce, putting it in the bag,
I
coming
was
back.
afraid to come back to the car because he said, hey, Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got your video. So you tell us how you want to handle this. You keyed his car.
Yeah.
And we can either make a big deal out of this or a little deal. So,
okay. Whatever you recommend.
Well, I want to know what you recommend. I mean, I don't want to be accused of covering up something for a senator.
Sure, neither do I.
So I think it's best that we all be up front with each other and do the right thing here.
Yeah, I want to, because, it's he, before he even got to me, right, he was saying, hey, Miller, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to be right up front with you. He saw your sticker on your truck.
Yeah.
And he ran it and he saw your picture and he said, that's the guy that just keyed my car.
Yeah.
So he was upset. And I don't know, do you know the guy? Why would you key his car?
Listen, he was threatening me already.
There's a video.
Okay, he was threatening me already. Whatever you want me to do to make it, easiest for you guys and everything.
So we're gonna probably go back and get an arrest warrant, right?
Yeah.
But you rather than do that, you can either come to the police station. We can charge you there.
Yeah.
This guy wants to pursue charges. He's upset that his car's or keyed. We were gonna do a search warrant and take your keys and stuff like that, but I
that's
think
right.
you're gonna cooperate.
Yeah.
Do you? Why did you key? Do you know that? Did he threaten
He
you?
was already threatening me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what did he? So do you want to give a statement? What did he threat? How did he threaten you? Because we can't hear what's said. We can only see.
As soon as I opened my door,
Yep.
he started saying, "Hey Miller, what are you going to do?" Right?
Yep.
You know, he already started on me as soon as I opened my door.
Right. And then
So-
which guy was that? Because there was two guys.
Yeah. I don't know which guy.
All right.
Yeah.
So did he bang your car with the door or something before that, or like why would
No,
you
as
key?
soon as I came out of the car,
You just got mad and keyed his car.
because he was already screaming at me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this here? If you want to just come to the... We're not going to go do an arrest warrant for you
No.
and roll it out that way. Why don't we just... And it would probably be... It's up to you. You could write a statement saying he threatened,
Yeah.
whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And then, I keyed it out of what? I don't know, anger. I don't know what your
Because
issue
he was
was.
yelling at me.
Did he threaten you at all, or?
I thought he was threatening me based on, just my history with guys like that.
Yeah. What do you mean, like guys like that? Was he the?
I thought he was one of the gun nuts that, stalked me before. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you recognize him, or?
No, I thought he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Why don't we do this here? Because it's a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
I think the guy just wants his restitution to get his car
Yeah,
fixed.
sure.
I mean, it's keyed pretty bad. I got to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah.
What did you do with your keys, or?
Well, I took my keys out when he started yelling at me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, you got to, there's a lot, I mean, you could see you're between the cars, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that I don't know. I mean, we'll deal with it at the
I
police
felt
station.
threatened. That's why I had the keys out. So,
Right, but they're gonna. What's the reason to key the car, though? That's
Yeah.
the question.
because he was daring me to, basically.
Okay. All right.
So now this little scumbag took it a step further. Now he's saying that this guy was threatening him and saying, "Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?" And you saw at the end of the video when he asked him why you keyed the car, well, he's pretty much daring me to do it. Really? Really? That's how it happens. That's how it works, right? If I pretty much dare you, pretty much, meaning maybe, maybe not, I dare you to do something, you're just going to do it? Even though it's against the law? Yes, you will, because you're a state senator and you feel like the law does not apply to you when you do these types of things. That's why this guy felt emboldened to do that. If this man had not been a state senator, even though he's a far left leaning wacko, he probably would not have keyed this vehicle had he seen that Biden sucks bumper sticker on it under normal circumstances. I don't need to know much more about this guy than what I already know. This video tells me everything I need to know about this person. I can pretty much sum up a person very quickly by tone of voice, the words they use, what they lie about, body language, just like most of you can. You can look at somebody and usually you can say, this guy's full of it. He's a liar, and I can tell you a couple other things about this guy. There's no doubt in my mind that this guy sits down when he takes a piss. There's no doubt he probably tapes his nipples when he goes jogging, and I can promise you that the night that Trump beat Hillary Clinton, this guy probably self-injured himself. This guy is a prototypical far left-leaning wacko softy. This guy is probably upset because of the gun legislation that he has helped to co-sponsor and try to push through in Rhode Island. He's probably upset that he hasn't gotten more mileage out of it because the majority of Americans do not agree with these anti-constitutional bills that a lot of these wackos like this keep pushing up. And he's probably thinking, well, man, I feel like I fell on my sword for the anti-Second Amendment legislation, and I'm not getting enough press out of it. I'm not getting enough mileage out of this. They employ this Marxist tactic that all of a sudden, instead of them somehow or another being the perpetrator of violence like he did in this case, now he makes himself the victim. He went from being the person without provocation of vandalizing this car of somebody he did not know and then flipping it around and then saying that this person had threatened him and approached him immediately when he got out of his car. I want to explain something to you guys. It looks like the first officer that we talked to in this video seemed like somewhat level-headed and never believed this guy, okay? You know why they went back to his house? They went back to his house because they had security footage of the incident from the actual facility, right? They let the guy go before that. So the guy was treated preferentially. Had they not had any video footage clearly proving that this man was a liar and that no one was at the vehicle when he keyed it, no one was threatening him, and then he was walking away when this person showed up to witness his car getting keyed. Had they not had any of that video footage to back up what this guy was saying, it's very possible they could have had charges pressed against the person whose car was keyed, because this man now had tried to turn it around to save his own butt and say that he had been threatened. Technology may have a lot of negatives to it, but technology is providing us with a lot of quasi-justice. And I say quasi because justice won't be served right here. The only thing that won't happen is this person won't have charges pressed against them. And guess what? The state of Rhode Island will probably pay to get this car repainted and whatever the key marks taken out of it. This man's not going to pay any money. The state will cover up for him and make it look like the man took care of it, but the state senator won't pay anything out of pocket. I can almost assure you of that. But nothing more will happen. He gets a $1,000 slap on the wrist right now even for obstructing. I counted the amount of lies that this man spit out. 23 lies in all. 23 times this man lied on tape. And it's not supposition. It's on tape, provable lies, obstruction of justice. Now, I get that this is a misdemeanor crime, but this man will get a tiny slap on the wrist. That's it. The voters of Rhode Island need to realize they have an absolute lying piece of crap that's in office right now and who's up for re-election. They need to get this little worm out of there. This is a scumbag. This is somebody who is towing the Biden line. And it's all anti-gun. It's all going to be green crap and everything else. You guys on the wacko far left have got to have a better candidate than this. Maybe this is your prototypical candidate. It wouldn't surprise me because, again, I can't get into your own heads. Your heads are so whacked out and I can't possibly begin to understand why and how you think the way you do. So maybe this is your chosen guy. But my thinking is there's got to be a better scumbag out there than this.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
He's so horrible.